really just trying to put ourselves up against an unbiased comparison, right? So, while our job is obviously to shape the narrative to the board, like we want that to be a fact-driven, data-driven discussion, right? And so to avoid, me kind of presenting my anecdotal view of the world and kind of our own little universe of, like I said, 60 units in 8 states, which is going to give you a pretty small sampling of what the broader trends are. We like to use it in that way to really provide some insights into, what's going on in the broader industry. What do you see other brands doing relative to price, right? How are they doing, traffic wise? What do those trends look like over the last couple of quarters? Are they getting better or are they getting worse? And again, being able to toggle between, full service casual dining or, maybe pizza specifically for us is helpful. Depending on which kind of viewpoint and segment we want to look at specifically in the business. So, I think that's sort of the helping to shape the narrative piece. And then, in terms of when we're thinking about, growth and development, whether that be organic growth, whether that be, de novo, new unit growth or growing into new markets, we try to collect as much information, which I'm sure everybody does as they're, trying to decide, hey, do I want to go into a new market, right? Is this somewhere that I want to build? Do I want to build a second or a third unit in a market? We try to pull as much data as we can. And so, we certainly have kind of our, demographic, sociographic, sort of information that we like to look at that helps us sort of, perform the site selection piece. But two, we want to be looking at, geographically, what's going on in that restaurant market in general. And so that's where the black box data and just the ability to segment through, different DMAs and again, different kind of restaurant level segments, it'll just another data point, right? To help you kind of understand and make that investment decision. Look, at the end of the day, we're all trying to wrap ourselves in enough data to provide the right level of assurance, going into, these investment decisions with the understanding that nothing's certain, right? If it was, this would be a lot easier and, everybody would be, building new units and we'd never close a restaurant because we'd always be right. And that's just not the reality of it. It's about trying to find the right data points for your brand and not also allow it to stop at a certain point, I would say, right? Is that it becomes the paralysis by analysis. I think the hard part to me in just the environment we live in today is that I can go get data on just about anything, right? And I may find all of it intellectually fascinating and could spend hours swimming through it and developing whatever analysis you want. But at the end of the day, is it helping you make the decision? So, I think you have to be careful there too. It's a tool and you need it to help support the decision-making process. But you have to be mindful too of the old saying that if you torture the data long enough, it'll tell you anything you want. So we try to be, objective and pick the right data points for us when we're looking in a market, and we'll present that then, to our real estate committee on our board as part of the supporting information of how we developed a pro forma and how we review financial return on an investment for a new unit. And, it becomes part of the, the supporting packet that we'll give. It's a data point. It's not the ultimate decision maker, but I think it's important to have, as much data as you can on a market when you're going into of just the overall health and kind of what's happened over the last 2-3 years in a market, particularly given kind of the challenges over the last few years. And is this a recovering market? Is it kind of leveled out? Is it still declining? Those are important things I think to understand as you're going.